Welcome everyone to this CELPIP Speaking Part 3 Describing a Scene Analysis. Here I am in the CELPIP Library in the Speaking Part 3 section. And before we get started on today's analysis, I do want to remind you that Speaking Part 3 focuses mostly on CLB 4 to 6. What does that mean? Well, it means that if you need to get CLB 4, 5, or 6, then you need to do very well in this part. Why? Because you can do well. This is a lower complexity question, and it's easier to answer, and the language you have to use is not so difficult, okay? So that's why it's important for lower levels. Now, for higher levels, it means that you can't really show that you are 7 or higher by answering part 3, okay? It's totally different than answering part 1, 6, or 7. That's because the complexity of this question is much lower, and you should answer this question very easily, okay? That's what it means for higher levels. So, of course, you have to do well in all parts for higher levels, but you can't really show that you have much knowledge just by answering part 3, okay? Now, also, I do want to remind you about this tips and strategies video for part 3. This video will give you some more details of some tips you can use for answering the question and some good strategies for providing a good response. Some of the tips and strategies that I will be using, actually. And so you can watch that video, and I will leave a link in the description box to that video. Okay? So now, everyone, let's get started with today's analysis called the Lunchroom. Okay? So I do want to tell you that this analysis will be focused on CLB 7 to 9. So we are going to provide a 7 to 9 response, okay? And if you're looking for the 5-6 response, you can find that video as well. So then, let's get started with our question, okay? Here we are. Of course, part 3, preparation time 30 seconds, speaking time 1 minute, okay? Describe some of the things happening in this picture as well as you can. The person with whom you are speaking cannot do the picture. It always says that, okay? It's the same question. And of course, we just have to describe the picture. All right, so about some of the tips and strategies that I will be using. Very important for this, okay? Very important to know for higher levels. Higher levels, you cannot make any simple grammar errors. And in this case, you can't make any simple grammar errors with present continuous, okay? Present simple, present continuous, that kind of grammar is low level. And if you make any of those mistakes, it's not higher level, okay? So keep that in mind. And of course, I need to provide a complete response. A very well organized response is what I'm going to be trying to do. And for that, I'm going to be organizing my response using this template. And I will be illustrating that to you and how important that is. And I will be using some of these sequencing forms, okay? Some of these forms are really good for sequencing, and they will be very useful, and I will be doing that. Okay, let's get started. I'll move over to my board. Okay, so then, everyone, again, this question should not be difficult for higher levels, okay? And it's all about trying to be as descriptive as we can, trying to use some good expression, some good sentence structure, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to start off by introducing the question. Okay, let's start. Well, this picture is taking place at the lunchroom or staff room of a security office. There are many employees doing various activities at the moment. Very good start. We can again, it's going to be a little bit difficult to try and demonstrate higher level English here, but I'm going to try and show you how we can do that, okay? And one way for sure, lunchroom or staff room. Okay, we're giving two options and we're being more direct, a security office, okay? And also, here we have employees. Now, this phrase here, everyone, I want to remind you that all of the blue will be structural or sequential language that I will use to organize. So keep that in mind. So you see this sentence here, there are many doing various activities at the moment. We can use that for any describing a scene question. And in the other examples and videos that you can see, you will see the same sentence because that's a good sequential form, because that's a good structure sentence, okay? So here I said employees. We can say there are many security officers and employees doing different activities. We can say there are many staff members doing different activities at the moment, okay? All right. So there we go. We introduced the sentence. So now let's get to the first part, and what we want to do is we're going to organize our description with in the foreground, in the middle, in the background. This is always a good way to organize, okay? Or you can also use markers, and I'm going to be using some of those. I'll show you, but I'll start with in the foreground, right over here, okay? In the foreground, we can see a female security officer eating a sandwich, and across from her, another woman's drinking a soda and reading a magazine. Okay. All right, very direct. Okay. We can say also at the lunchroom table, at the staff table, at the lunch table. Okay. But here I said just in the foreground. Okay. Also notice everything in red, everyone, the main grammar forms. And the main grammar form we'll be using throughout is present continuous. Also here we have eating. I didn't highlight that yet, but I will. Okay. So direction in the foreground, across from her. Now this sentence here, or this start, it's good. We can add a sentence, and this is a good way to show your knowledge and be a higher level for this part. And it's using this form. It looks like, or it seems like. This is very good. It looks like, you see, it looks like they're relaxing during their lunch or coffee break. Right. It looks like they're relaxing. So adding that kind of sentence, it looks like, it seems like, that's something that I'm going to be using or doing to demonstrate higher levels, okay? So again, in the foreground, and it looks like. We said that here. What's next? In the middle on the left, there's a male security officer getting some chips from the snack vending machine. And he's talking to another worker who is drinking his coffee. That's over here on the left, getting some chips from the vending machine, okay? And he's talking to another worker, okay, who's drinking coffee. That's the easy part. Here is the more complicated part. It looks like they're shooting the breeze about their weekend or work. There is a good sentence. Again, it looks like. It looks like, okay? And here we have, they are shooting the breeze. Shooting the breeze just means talking, having a chat, chatting, okay? Relaxing and chatting. Oh, during the breaks, we're shooting the breeze. We're relaxing. That's what it means, okay? So very good expression here, very good expression. And that one there, you can see, we made that a higher level there. Okay, so good use. Now let's get to the right side over here. On the right, there's another security officer writing down his schedule from the whiteboard. It seems like he's satisfied with his schedule. Okay, so we went on the right, writing down his schedule. Okay, we can't really see, but maybe he's satisfied with his schedule. Okay, maybe he feels good about it. That's what it says here. So we got the middle there. Okay, there we go. And we said some really good things. All right. Let's get to the last point. In the background on the right corner, there's a female worker taking a snooze on her break time. It seems like she's having a very difficult day at work, or she didn't sleep well last night. So we went to that corner in the background on the right corner. Okay. She's taking a snooze or having a snooze. A good way to say taking a nap. Okay, that's better than saying she's sleeping, because that's not sleeping, okay? So there's something to say about lower and higher levels. Lower levels will say she's sleeping in the corner. Higher levels will say taking a nap, taking a snooze, having a nap, having a snooze, like we said over here. And again, it seems like, okay? She's having a very difficult day at work. I mean, she's taking a snooze, so she's having a difficult day at work. Or she didn't sleep well. Okay, everyone, as you can see, now, again, if you've seen some of the part 1, 6, or 7 videos, those are complicated questions. But this question is not complicated. There's not much to say, okay? And we should say it very easily. Now, the only thing that I want to say here about how we made it higher level. First of all, even lower levels, they won't be able to organize like we have organized. If you can organize this way, or you should organize this way for higher levels, this is very important, okay? Using some good sequential connectors here. We've used many. Okay, and that's very important. Secondly, the only other part that I think that can make this question stronger is some good expressions. Okay, like relaxing during their lunch break. It looks like, it seems like that kind of expression will really increase your grade. Okay. And the last thing, of course, is some of the language we've used. These are really good expressions. Shooting the breeze, taking a snooze, and adding some stronger ideas. Those will make it very, well, adding that kind of language or adding higher level language. I've just haven't really said much complicated. Probably the strongest phrase that I've used is shooting the breeze and taking a snooze. That's why I've highlighted those. Of course, everyone, it's about delivery, flow, and intonation, like I've said many times. And we need to speak this answer in 1 minute with good flow and intonation. What does that mean? Slowly, clearly, and continuously. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. So please follow along. All right. This picture is taking place at the lunchroom or staff room of a security office. There are many employees doing various activities at the moment. In the foreground, we can see a female security officer eating a sandwich, and across from her, another woman's drinking a soda and reading a magazine. It looks like they're relaxing during their lunch or coffee break. In the middle, on the left, there's a male security officer getting some chips from the snack vending machine, and he's talking to another worker who's drinking his coffee. It looks like they're shooting the breeze about their weekend or work. On the right, there's another security officer writing down his schedule from the whiteboard. It seems like he's satisfied with his schedule. In the background on the right corner, there's a female worker taking a snooze on her break time. It seems like she's having a very difficult day at work or she didn't sleep well last night. Well, I used up all my time there, everyone. You see, it was for 1 minute. We did say a lot. That's another thing that higher levels do for this question because it is easier. They will use their full minute and speak a lot. So make sure that you do that for higher levels. I will say that this answer for sure is 9, okay? And for 7 and 8s, we don't have to say as much, okay? 7/8 is good practice for you. Maybe we don't have to say this, it seems like, okay? If you can, higher level, okay? But you don't have to say everything we've said for 7 to 8. Now, definitely CLB 9 or higher, no simple errors. No errors with present simple or present continuous, okay? That's very important. But 7 to 8s, you can get away with a few errors here and there, okay? The less you say, the higher your score. So let's keep that in mind, okay? Now to practice, well, to practice, let's read and analyze while we read it. Focus on structure and expression, okay? Focus on that. And of course, let's also focus on trying to read and speak this answer in 1 minute. Can you do it? Can you speak this answer in 1 minute? Well, first, can you read it in 1 minute? Very important to build your fluency. And then, of course, the last test will be, can you say this answer in 1 minute? That will be very important. If you can say it in 1 minute, then you're this level. That's the best way for you to test yourself. For that, everyone, I will be leaving a link in the description box to this question. Okay? So you can see here, there you go. I'll be leaving that link there for you to practice this answer. All right. And that will be great practice for you. Also, this link will have some really good exercises for you to build your vocabulary. Very good vocabulary building exercise here. You have to type the whole sentence. Very good. Sometimes the staff like to have on their breaks. So which one? Which one matches there? Very good practice. Okay. And also, we have here some grammar building. Let's practice present continuous. I know it's an easier, for 7s to 8s, you might need some of this practice, okay? Level 9s, we should know how to answer most of these questions very easily for grammar building, but very good practice. Typing the sentence, very good practice, everyone. So I strongly recommend it. And let's not forget about our CELPIP library, everyone. The CELPIP library describing a scene, well, it has over 50 examples of part 3, which is very good practice. Very good practice. The more practice that you get, the better. Okay, and because you've watched this whole video, well, with discount code CELPIP79, discount code CELPIP79, you can get a 3-month subscription for only $10.99 Canadian. Wow, that's a great deal. and I strongly recommend it, everyone, for, of course, that's for all the library, for listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So very good deal. Everyone, don't forget, practice makes perfect.